So this is a context menu, if you don't know. It's basically when you right click with your mouse and this menu bar opens. I like to call configuration menu, but whatever, it's called context menu. And today I'm gonna teach you a simple way on how to do that with Python using flet. So it's not gonna be anything complex. I'm just gonna teach you how to do it, and you have to find a way to implement it on your own way. Like find a way to implement it on your system differently, whatever. But let's start the tutorial. So to start it, we have to understand first two things. That one is how to make a right click on containers or whatever on flat, because on most things like a container you only have the on click function. That it's a basic function that works with the left click of the mouse. And how do we get the position, the coordinates of our click when we click the mouse? So it's basically very easy. Most events like on click use a control event, not a tap event, a control event. Control event. So the control event, as you can see here, only have some variables that I'm going to show you. Control event, control, data, name, and target, and we can't use this. We have to use a tap event. Tap event. As you can see here, the variables are now blue, and the tap event has the variables that we're gonna need to use. There's a global x, global y, local x, local y. It's basically understand by your own way. I don't care honestly, but it's basically the information that we want, right? The localization, the coordinate of the mouse click. And how do we get a tap event? Well, you can't get a tap event. You can't get a tap event on the container with on tap down, but that's only works for the left click. That does not work for the right click. So to get a tap event on the right click, we have to use a gesture detector. A gesture detector, I don't really know what this is honestly, but I like to see it as a more complex way to get events, to handle events, to make more complex events. For example, if you see here inside of the gesture detector, I can type on and blah blah blah, and you can see that I have a lot of events. So I like to see like that. And here on the gesture detector, we have on secondary tap down. That's how we're gonna get the right click, not the left click. So this simple program here handles the tap. Basically it. I'm gonna show you now. So here it is. I'm gonna click, and when I click, oh, with my right click, and boom, we have the coordinates. That's basically it. Now to continue and to actually make a context menu, we have to understand the other thing. But first, let's see this code here that I have here. I'm gonna explain you. So we have the configuration bar here. That's basically a container, and with a column with containers inside. Oh my God, what is that? Well, it's basically this, right? It's a container with some columns. You can see they're all on top of each other, and there are some containers here. That's this thing here. This container is this thing, and we have some functions. Open configuration bar that's going to receive a tap event, and it's going to take the configuration bar that is on top here and change the top and left variables or yeah, whatever. Because if you didn't know, a container have top and left variables or instance variables, I don't know, where you can change its position. But using top and left of a container only works with another concept that we have to understand, that is a stack, and flat.stack. What is a flat.stack? Well, you can see here on VS Code that we have this bar here that is supposed to be here. We have this other column bar here, menu, whatever, that is supposed to be here. Everything has your place, I don't know. But when I right click, you can see that the context menu just ignores everything and appears on top of everyone. That's a stack. A stack is basically when you want to put one thing on top of the other. So on my whole page, that's basically just a gesture detector. I have my stack that is a container, that's just gonna be the whole page, whatever, just for example, and a configuration bar. It has to be on this order because this is 0, this is 1, so this is gonna appear on top of this guy here, the container. And just put expand on everyone so that they can take the whole window length and height. And finally, on my gesture detector, we have the on secondary tap down and on tap just to close the configuration bar. So that's basically it. Let's test it now. So this is my window, and when I right click, I have my configuration bar. So that's basically it. It's not very complex. You're gonna have, but at least now you know how to do it, and you can improve or something like that. So that was the tutorial. Bye.